What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and I am back with another review. Today, we're going to be talking about Ladies Who List Atlanta, episode 3. So, let's go on and get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So the episode starts out with Crystal and Tiana kind of going back and forth because Robin was upset that Crystal kept on saying that she was triggered, which I really don't know why Crystal keeps on saying that. Like, I get it. Crystal goes to therapy. So those are words that are like open for her to use because she talks to her therapist all the time. And maybe that she thought using those words was going to help Robin in some type of way. But if she's a person that you know already has, let's call it elevated energy all the time, why would you use that word with her? Because it's definitely going to trigger her and piss her the hell off. So definitely not the best choice of words. And so Tiana was telling her, she was like, girl, stop telling this girl she's triggered because you triggering the hell out of me. Like, what WTF? Like, what is going the freak on? Okay. So Crystal keeps saying, you don't know her. We're best friends. She's always upset. Er? Okay, Crystal. If she's always upset, why are you friends with her? And you told your therapist, which we're going to see later on, that y'all really don't ever really have no problems. So if she always upset, it's no way y'all don't have no problems. So I'm not understanding where this is going for you. So moving right along, she says, she's always upset, and then Kira done took her daggone shoes off. So they talk about everybody leaves. Tiana, Tiffany, Robin done rolled out. So all that's left is Kiana, Crystal, and Kira. So Crystal looks down and sees that Kira done took her daggone shoes off. She's like, well, why you take your damn shoes off, girl? She was like, listen, she your friend and she popped off on you and put her hands on you. Like, I don't know what she gonna do to me. So I had to get it ready to get going because listen, I don't know what your friend is capable of. And then Crystal was like, you guys have to really just bear with her because she's gone through a lot in her life. So she always is defensive. Like, she feels like she always has to like be on guard. And I was afraid of that with her coming together with a group of women, things like that. And I really appreciated Kira and Kiana coming out and saying, listen, that's not an excuse for you to be shitty to other people. Like, I get it. Robin has been through a lot. Hell, haven't we all? And not to discount what Robin has been through, but you can't use the things that you've been through as an excuse to be nasty to other people. Most people that have a heart or want to move forward from the shit that they've been through, they use the things that they've been through to become a better person. And they may explain those things as examples to become relatable to other people. But you don't utilize that as an excuse to continue bad behavior. Okay. So I don't agree with Crystal using that as a defense mechanism for Robin because you too damn grown to be acting the way that Robin did. And Crystal said she doesn't play well in the sand. She tried to tell her that. And look what happened. Just what Crystal said was going to happen. She didn't play well with the other ladies. So obviously her idea was a great idea, but I don't think that honestly at this point Robin is capable of being able to work with others and listen to their opinions without having elevated energy. She's not that far in her journey in recovery, if you will, to be able to be mature enough to do that. So Kira says, I was sleeping in cars. I had nights where I didn't even have food to eat. Like, my mother was like the sole provider for us, and we ain't have nothing growing up. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nobody in the excuses. And Kiana said, yeah, I had a rough childhood growing up too. So, that's why I work so hard now to make sure that I don't have to deal with that. And then Kira was like, yeah, my whole house burned down. Like, I'm still dealing with that in a 5-year relationship that failed badly. Like, I don't want to hear nobody's excuses at this point. And honestly, I don't want to hear none of Robin's excuses either. I feel like Robin is too old to be acting the way that she's acting now. I don't want to discount her trauma, but you have to use your trauma to be less drama. Okay. That's how I'm gonna say that. Don't use your trauma to create more trauma. You need to utilize those experiences to become a better person ultimately, because at the end of the day, all of this rah-rah stuff and not being listening to respond to people instead of listening to understand what somebody is trying to say to you, like I don't get that type of behavior. So anyway, Kara says she's gone without, she talks about all her hardships, and Crystal begins to cry because she said, Robin is really a good person and she really wants that. She doesn't know how to move forward from this. So hopefully Crystal can find her way with Robin, because Robin ain't checking for her right now. Because in the next scene, we see Robin is at a yoga class and she's all zen and, I guess running through all the things in her head that happened and trying to figure out if Crystal is really her friend. Because she feels like Crystal didn't have her back in that moment where all the ladies were pretty much coming for Robin. And I don't really think that the ladies were coming for Robin. I think that the ladies were more questioning, they had questions, and Robin didn't feel like what they were saying warranted an answer. Even though I think Kira was very immature about the whole her unfollowing her stuff, that meant something to her. So if someone is working for you or working with you and something is bothering them, or they feel like something is important that you don't think is important, you have to be willing to take heed and listen to what somebody has to say. So for Kira thinking that she unfollowed her, she should have talked through that with Kira or set up a separate time to discuss that with her. Same thing with the Kiana situation. I feel like she should have said, you know what, I totally understand, and that was a year ago. And while I still don't understand some things about that situation, so I am very open and willing to sit down with you and discuss, how you feel about that. Because for me, I'm going through a lot mentally. I'm just not the same person I was a year ago. So I definitely want to understand and identify your concerns and talk to you about that and see how we can move forward. Instead, when Kiana said what she said about the 26 listings and obviously her being upset about it, Rob was like brushing it off like, girl, you still mad over that? Oh, okay, well, let's go to lunch or something. I'll buy you lunch or dinner and let's just get over it. First of all, you're discounting somebody's feelings. And I feel like that's what Robin does consistently. And she responds in anger, which is not healthy or helpful in any type of business relationship, friendship, love relationships, none of that. It just makes you a poor communicator. So she's at yoga, contemplating life, child, and then I don't know. I don't think she's in enough. She needs some extra, help, but beyond the yoga and stretching ain't enough. She needs to talk to somebody. So in the next scene, Kiana tells her husband Anthony about the event with Robin and how she feels like she's shady and didn't handle the event well. And she says she is, however, willing to meet with Robin to try to work through their issues and talk about it, which I think that that's what they should do. I feel like they were friends at some point. We learned in the last episode that Robin was actually dating one of Anthony's friends. So they know her rather closely. So I feel like Kiana, after seeing how Robin reacted and hearing her say that she is going through some things and that she's experienced some trauma, I do appreciate Kiana kind of saying, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger person in this situation and take a step back, sit down with her and actually hear her out and hear what she has to say. And I'm going to take this opportunity to share with her how I feel about the situation, which I think that's going to be the best way for them to move forward. So in the next scene, Tiana and Tiffany meet with Michael Hibachi, who's a famous interior designer, and he wants to list his penthouse as downtown in Atlanta. And so Tiffany and Tiana talk about so that Tiana says he says that he's willing to sell the house with all the furniture and all the finishes that he's put in it. So Tiana says she's going to go over and take a look at it and give him a price because this is a seller's market. And she thinks that he could really get top dollar for his property in this market. So he says, great, let's take a look at it. Come on over and you let me know what we can do. So Tiana and Tiffany kind of dip off to the side and they recap and talk about the night before. And Tiffany was saying, I really felt triggered. She's like, I can tell that Robin is going through something. And as a person that also suffers from mental illness, and I've suffered through anxiety and depression and things like that, like I really felt for her and I really want her to know that there's somebody there for her. And she even identified that she didn't think that Crystal really had her best interest at heart. And even Tiana says that she was disappointed because she felt like Crystal provoked Robin by continuing to say that she's triggered. And Tiana was actually hoping to, at this event, reconnect with Crystal. She's like, we went to high school together. I was really looking forward to talking to her more and getting to know her even more in this stage of our lives and kind of creating a relationship. But now that I see that this is how she handles her friends, I don't even know if I want to move forward with this broad. So, Tiffany says, as she said, she feels bad. So she said that she's going to reach out to Robin and see if they can meet up and talk about these things, because she just really hopes that what happened at the dinner doesn't push her into a dark hole. So in the next scene, we see Crystal talking to her therapist about the situation with Robin. She says she hasn't talked to her about Robin very much because she hasn't really been an issue until this dinner. So she tells her therapist about how Robin was being ganged up on by the ladies, and she tried to diffuse the situation, but it wasn't working. So in Crystal's mind, she feels like she did break in and try to, come to Robin's aid, so to speak. But Robin doesn't feel like Crystal did that at all. I do think that Crystal did try, in her terms. She kind of would break in and try to change the subject and talk about something else with the ladies to get them off of talking about Robin. But Robin would bring it back in like, but what was said? What you trying to say? What you mean by that? Like, she kept on expanding upon things when Crystal was trying to shut the conversation down and move forward, which you can't brush things under the rug with a person like Robin, because Robin is going to give it right back to you no matter what. Even if the conversation probably should be deaded at the end of the day, she's going to keep poking the bear, because I don't think that like I said, I don't think she's at that point in her journey of recovery to not be petty. Okay. So moving right along, Robin, she said, also talks about how she was telling Robin she was triggered, and telling Robin she was triggered actually triggered her more. And she doesn't know how to move forward from that, because she also feels like her boundaries have been crossed because Robin physically hit her and got extremely angry with her. And while she understands Robin's past, she can't get past how Robin reacted to her. Now, I'm going to tell you something. What you're not going to do is put your goddamn hands on me. That's what you're not going to do. Okay. And I understand she loved Robin and they do a whole bunch of deals together, child. And that's supposed to be her best friend. Yeah. Robin, don't put your hands on nobody. Please don't do that. Because you got so angry with that girl that it was like a mother telling their child to stop doing something bad and like giving them that initial tap to say, listen, I told you, and that gentle bite of the bottom lip to be like, I'm afraid, stop. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what Robin was giving Crystal. And it's like, this is your friend. And I feel like Crystal, and she expressed this with the therapist, she said, I don't really do well with confrontation. And I kind of picked that up when she was laughing at everything Robin was saying in the last episode when they had an encounter. I feel like Crystal doesn't know how to manage well through controversy. So she tries to change the subject, or she tries to be the peacemaker. And in this situation, she wasn't creating the peace. She was creating the poison. Okay. She was making a whole new open scenario of foolishness. And I don't think that was her intention. But I think she was so uncomfortable in that moment that she made it so much worse. And now she doesn't even know how to come out of it, which is sad, because if they're as close as she's saying that they were, I can tell that this is going to be an uphill battle for her, because Robin is definitely triggered and she's definitely not here for the BS. Okay. So moving right along, the next thing you see Kira taking B Simone to see another condo, which that condo that she took her to was bomb. I think honestly though, what B Simone is looking for, she's not going to find it in a condo. Like, condos are going to be small. They're not going to be gigantic. And I don't really see anything like what she's looking for being available in something like Atlanta, where homes are really the thing that people buy. I don't think condos are like big to do. in Atlanta, which I don't know. I don't live in Atlanta. I live in the DMV, so don't get me to freaking lying. But I could see if like she was looking for something in New York or whatever, I could see her finding like this extra gigantic space, if you will, to accommodate what she's looking for. But even that penthouse that homeboy is selling, which we'll see with Tiana at some point, I don't even know if that will work for B Simone for what she's looking for, because it was big but it didn't, I mean, it had levels, but I don't think it was as spacious as she, I think it was very well decorated, but I don't think it still was spacious enough for her. But this was a step up, and B Simone was happy with what Kira showed her. But it's still, I think she still wanted more closet space or whatever the case may be. So in the next scene, Tiffany meets with, oh, and Kira, last point, Kira says she want to hurry up and get out of there. She wanted to take B Simone to get something to eat, because B Simone said she was hungry after looking at all the properties. She said, girl, let's get up out of here, because I ain't trying to see Robin, this other agent that I ain't getting along with. I was like, girl, I know you effing lying, because you just took your shoes off and was about ready to go pound for pound with her a couple nights ago. So don't act like you don't want to see this broad in the hallways, child. Okay. So Tiffany meets with Robin. They connect by discussing their similar challenges with mental health. And Tiffany refers Robin to her therapist, and Robin tells Tiffany about, about her becoming a mom at the age of 16, and how her mother had all of her children by the time she was 16. So she didn't really understand, because Robin continues to say that women in her family, women in her family, what was the word that she used? They abandoned her. Okay. So she's saying that her mother kicked her out when she found out that Robin was pregnant. And she didn't understand that, because she's like, well, you are the pot calling the kettle black, because you did the same thing. So why would you kick me out and not help me, knowing that I'm pretty much in the same position that you were in? So you are disowning me and leaving me for the wolves. I don't understand that. So as a person that it was done to you, why would you do that to your child? So I feel like she has some deep rooted hurt and some issues, and she just can't seem to get over where it comes to her mother and her upbringing. And I'm sure she's probably gone through some trauma in past relationships with her children's fathers. I'm not sure. She didn't discuss that, but she definitely seemed to be very hell bent on the anger that she had with her mom for disowning her. And then Tiffany discussed her severe anxiety, where she didn't even want to leave her house and she would get seriously overwhelmed. She even talked about how her husband had to quit his job because she didn't want to be alone. Like, she literally had anxiety for leaving out of her front door. Like, she couldn't do it. So they both connected on that level, and they felt like, I'm so glad that it's not just me. Like, I'm not alone. And I don't understand why Robin, I don't think that she's been going to a therapist consistently. So I'm glad that Tiffany actually referred her to somebody. And I think she needs to talk to a professional, because this self-healing and yoga ain't really going to do it. She needs to talk to somebody. She needs to get all that stuff up off her spirit. And she needs to really just like check in and get her feelings in order and work with it. She needs to learn how to respond to people and how to talk to people and not respond in anger all the time. And I think it would really do her justice to talk to somebody. So I'm glad that they have this newfound friendship or whatever. And hopefully Tiffany can be that, olive branch to help Robin to move forward in her trials with her issues with mental health. But I'm glad that she knows that she needs help and is getting what she needs. So in the next scene, Tiana meets with Michael Hibachi, and he shows her his penthouse in Midtown, which, baby, that penthouse is gorgeous. Okay, like, if I had those coins to buy that, you would see me walking around in absolutely nothing in this penthouse. That thing was bomb.com. Okay, and that man has some skills, the way he decorated this place, like the finishes, everything was just, it was amazing. Like, it is everybody taking your shoes off at the front door type amazing. Actually, take your shoes off outside. You know what? Don't even come in, because I don't need you ruining what I got going on here. Okay. I loved. Can I say loved one more time? That penthouse. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, Michael Hibachi, I'm gonna get my money together because I'm gonna need you to decorate some stuff around here. Okay. So anyway, he explains that he's afraid that the finishes he put into the home may have, proved him out of the market, which can happen because I watch $1 Million Listing too. And sometimes when people have a home, they put so much into a home that they really they price themselves out of the market, if you will. So you putting crystal chandeliers and all this expensive stuff in your house when you ain't really gonna get but for so much for this house, no matter what you've put in it, because it's all about the comps in the neighborhood and what other people have done. They're not gonna give you all this extra money just because you decided to take it an extra step and put a whole bunch of shit in your house that nobody really needed or that was special for you, right? So he was feeling like, maybe I did that here. I've personalized the space so much that I don't think that I'm really going to get what I've put into it, because he probably put a lot of money into all the decorations that he did. So anyway, they go outside, go out on the balcony, and Tiana was like, "Yeah, you can definitely get, the buyers down here from New York and California. Like this is what they look for. This is the look that they look for. Which a 2,000 square foot penthouse is probably right up the alley of somebody from like a New York or whatever." So she comes out with the 1.5 price, and he was like, "Oh hell no, that that ain't even worth waking up for. Like what are you saying to me right now? This wasn't even worth me letting you in the front door. Like 1.5, yeah, girl, going on somewhere." That's exactly what he wanted to tell Miss Tiana. Okay, he said, "Forget about it." So he forgot about it, all right. Anyway, in the next scene, Kiana and Robin sit down to talk at lunch. And Kiana immediately asks, "What happened at the dinner? Like, just what the hell was you thinking and doing, Miss Robin?" Okay. So she's trying to get right down to the biz naive. Okay. So Kiana tells Robin she felt like she was very dismissive of the situation with her and the listings. Excuse me, y'all. And Robin says she wasn't trying to be dismissive. She just felt attacked by everyone. And here's my thing. Hold on, y'all. We got some comments. Yes, 100. Oh, yeah, that's about that house, girl. Yes, that house was so bomb. Like, listen. Rasta 27 says, "I agree with you. She needs to see someone." Also, Robin kind of act like people are beneath her. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, she absolutely does. Like, I think that, she wants a certain level of respect, right? Because she has been doing this real estate thing for quite some time, and she obviously is good at what she does. However, you're trying to get other people to intertwine with you and do business with you. So you have to be open to hearing what other people say and how they feel and how they move, because you got to work with them. And these people are ultimately going to have to help produce for you to make money. So you can't just be so dismissive and treat people like they're less than, and what they're saying means absolutely nothing. So thank you so much, Rasta 27 and Chevy Chevelle, for commenting. I appreciate you all. And there are 4 people watching right now. I so appreciate y'all. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, because why not? It's me. We're going to keep it real over here. Okay? So let's get back into it like we do. So Kiana and Robin are talking, and Robin says she felt like she was being attacked by everyone. Okay. And Robin says she apologized profusely to Kiana, but she didn't accept it. Here's my thing, Robin. You didn't really apologize to her. You were dismissive. You said to this girl, yeah, that was like a year ago. And even before y'all came into this lunch, she was like, "Yeah," and Kiana's like still mad over something that happened like a year ago. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you still mad? Like, whatever, get over it, kind of thing. Instead of you just simply having a conversation with this girl that felt like y'all were friends in some sort of capacity. And I get it. If you wanted to be paid for those listings, rightfully so, but explain it to your friend. You say to her, "Listen, I was going through something. I did it out of anger and I apologize." Or you say to her, "Girl, listen, WTF, I don't know why you thought I was about to hold 26 listings and not get paid. You tried it." Say that. Be honest. That's how I feel like Kiana would respect her more if that's the approach that she took versus basically telling her, you're mad over nothing, get over it. Like, that's not how you treat somebody. You at least listen to people's concerns. And like I continue to say, it doesn't seem like Robin really knows how to do that. It's very, she seems like the type of friend that you have to be on eggshells when you're around her. Like, oh, y'all don't say that, don't talk about that, because she gonna get mad and then we ain't gonna have a good time type of friend. I don't need those types of friends around me, because that right there, and the way my mouth go, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And if you don't like it, let's have a conversation. But what we not gonna do is tiptoe around nobody around here, okay? Because that's not what I do at all. Not never, not going to, okay? And I think Robin is so used to that with Crystal, and I guess whoever else is around her, that's why she hasn't even really dealt with her trauma. Because people either leave her alone because they're like, oh, this broad is crazy, I can't handle it. Or they're like, you know what, Robin is cool in certain aspects, but let me just not talk about this, or let me not like do anything to trigger her, at the risk of using that word again. Let me not trigger her because I want to have a good night, or I don't want her ruining my day. Right? So again, Robin is very dismissive of Kiana and not listening. So Kiana said Robin didn't acknowledge her feelings. And it was an I'm sorry. She said she felt like her apology was an I'm sorry you felt that way kind of apology. And I hate a I'm sorry if you felt that type of way, motherfucker. Okay? Don't apologize to me like that, because that ain't no damn apology. It's not. Because you're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry that I'm saying something about it and you got to deal with it. That's what I feel like. Okay. Because that shit right there pisses me off. Roster 27, you saw how she slapped Crystal on her hand like she was a child. Yes, definitely. We talked about that. If you watch the video back, I talk about that in the beginning. I was definitely taken back by that. Like, what you not going to do? I don't care how close we are, besties, friends, or foe. Don't put your hands on me, because I'm a grown ass woman. Okay. Do not put your hands on me. Absolutely not, never. Okay. So then, moving right along, Robin says, well, let's talk about the money. Okay. And then that's when the episode ends. So I feel like that conversation with Kiana and Robin, I cannot wait to see how that continues to roll through, because I think Kiana walked into that conversation very open and willing to hear what Robin has to say. However, she ain't here for Robin's bullshit either. Okay. And Robin needs to be, open about how she felt, why she did what she did, and either apologize or put your stake in the ground for how you felt. Help Kiana understand why you did what you did, and y'all try to find common ground to move forward. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna need to see Robin sitting in next to a therapist the same way Crystal do. Okay. And that's that on that, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Shay Renee. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with somebody else that you know that watches this show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.